Good morning, everyone. On today's show, I've got a major update regarding next week's big Machinima React event. Also, an update on my status in Street Fighter 6 after yesterday's Street Fighter Friday. Also, it's a nice chill week that is Street Fighter free for a couple of days, which I know many of you are interested in, and a big new playthrough premieres tonight. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, hello everyone. Today is Saturday, the 22nd of July, 2023. Of course, I'm Darkside Phil, and welcome to the show. I only use this border like once or twice. It's the villains, the big bads of, oops, it's the wrong color, of the Final Fantasy universe. I really like this one, but we only used it a couple of times, so I figured I'd pull it out for today's show. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the podcast. We've got a good amount of stuff to discuss today, although I don't think admittedly as much as yesterday, because yesterday we had a ridiculous amount of game news and the like, although we do have some game news to discuss today, but various updates, a few news stories, although nothing too crazy. Let's talk, shall we? First of all, it's the weekend, everyone. I hope that you're all having a good time. And yesterday was Street Fighter Friday, my return to streaming, where I played Street Fighter 6 all day long. And, man, you want to talk about mixed results. That is like the definition of mixed results, what happened yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday, just get it out of the way, so that way we can move on to all the new stuff coming on this weekend, including no Street Fighter for 2 days, which I'm sure many of you will be happy about, okay? So, first of all, I started off yesterday with a 3-hour ranked session of Lily gameplay. Lily is a character who I started off playing with right at the beginning of Street Fighter 6. She is supposed to be in the same native tribe as T-Hawk, Thunderhawk from previous Street Fighter games, and has moves that are similar to him, but not really. What I mean is they look the same, but don't really act the same. As a character, she's pretty unique. I don't think there's ever been a character in Street Fighter like her before, because she's a cool hybrid. But everyone agrees she's pretty much low tier in the game. But I like her, and I've used her, over the course of this game being out, on and off, sometimes to various levels of success. I wanted to do a full ranked session. The last time that I tried to play with her about a week and a half ago, the servers went down in the middle of my stream. So I ended up only getting to play with her for about 90 minutes and haven't really touched her since. So, much like I did with Zangief back on Wednesday, I studied some tech videos. I watched the top Lily players and the strategies that they were using, and I tried to implement them in my gameplay yesterday. To much success, because, ladies and gentlemen, I had an incredibly successful stream. Are you listening to this? Get this. On yesterday's Lily stream, I had 55 wins and 24 losses. That is the best stream that I have had of Street Fighter 6 in over a month. I have never hit a 70% win-loss ratio like that since the beginning of the game. That is the most wins and to losses I've had in ages, all right? So if anything, Lily, yeah, I did better than Zangief, because people are saying, what about Zangief? No, with Zangief the other day, that was 63%. This was 70%. I think what it was that with Zangief, I had that 15 win streak, so it made it seem like I had actually done better with Zangief than I had done with Lily. But in reality, with Lily, I was getting little streak with 1 or 2 losses here or there, but it was a lot of streaks going on. And so overall, 70% win-loss ratio for Lily is pretty amazing. Overall now, I'm actually at 62% win-loss ratio with Lily. 199 wins and 122 losses. That's better than Zangief. And in fact, that is a tie for Blanca. Yes, that is actually a tie for my biggest win-loss ratio with Blanca, which is pretty crazy to think about because Blanca I've probably played a hell of a lot more. I mean, Blanca I've played about 600 matches. Lily I've only played about 320, but I got the same win-loss ratio, okay? And Lily ranked up. She went from 3-star platinum all the way up to 5-star platinum, and we are actually in position that if I play with her again, we're probably going to hit diamond. Similar to the same situation with Zangief. If I do another major stream of Zangief in ranked, as long as I hang, I'll probably hit diamond, all right? So I'm in a position where I may very shortly, within a couple of weeks, have multiple characters at the diamond level in Street Fighter 6, which is really, really cool, okay? Now, you want to talk about the opposite, all right? The late night stream last night, I am not ashamed to admit, was sort of a disaster. And allow me to explain why the late night Friday Night Fight stream was a disaster. It's because a week ago, I played with Luke for the very first time on Friday, and I played him all day long, 5 hours. I was just basically learning him, and then I went into casual play. And in the casual play for about an hour and a half, I was trying to learn his basic strategies and moves. And then I jumped into ranked, and when I went into ranked, I actually beat almost everyone. I think it was like 6 or 7 wins in my placement matches, and I ended up in diamond to start with Luke. But the funny part was, unlike playing with Ryu a couple weeks prior, all right, when I actually got to the ranked matches with Luke, I won more than I lost, and I was actually hanging in diamond. Meaning, like, even though I didn't even know advanced combos or strategies with Luke, just basic knowledge of how to play Street Fighter was carrying me through diamond, okay? So, that first session with Luke didn't go so bad. It was 16 wins and 11 losses. Then on my second stream, it was 23 wins and 29 losses. So admittedly, more losses than wins, but it was because I had hit diamond and I was adjusting to the character, but I was beating diamond ranked players, all right? So when I went back to use Luke last night, I made a big error. And here's the error that I made, all right? I didn't basically practice at all after only having used this character once ever, one day. That was it. If you take a look at my total matches with Luke, I have currently 174. That's less than any other major character that I've tried to use, including Ryu, Dhalsim, Marisa, Lily, Zangief, and Blanca. You know, the only characters that I've used less than Luke are like Honda, Mano, Chun-Li, DJ, and JP, who I've only literally used once ever. So I have so little experience with Luke under my belt, and on the top of that, I was starting off right in diamond matches where you've got people who are using their main characters. They know the strategies, they know the combos, they know everything. And basically, to me, I really feel like what I should have done, thinking, you know, now, of course, 'cause I'm being, you know what they say is that hindsight is 20/20. Of course, I'm an idiot. I should have sat there. I should have said, okay, let's do 20 minutes, 30 minutes in casual play. Let's ease ourselves back into diamond because I haven't played with Luke in a while, and, you know, I need to basically practice a little bit. Plus, I wanted to basically change the combos I was going for to be more basic combos, not as advanced, but these basic combos would be my bread and butter combos that I could use online. And if you wonder what bread and butter means, it basically means the combos that are basic, they work all the time, they're consistent damage, and you can do them easily, as opposed to more advanced, super deluxe combos where you're trying to add in a million different things, but then you have potential to mess them up a lot, okay? So, I really screwed up because I didn't practice. I'm not practicing. All right. What ended up happening was I jumped in and I immediately was like getting destroyed because I was dropping inputs. I couldn't even remember the basic combos that I was trying to use. In reality, you know, I actually had forgotten like the corner. He has a corner combo, Luke, into a level 3 super. I couldn't remember what it was. So every time that I had opportunity, 3 or 4 times I could have won a match, and I did it. It whiffed, and then I lost the match immediately because people punished after. And I was like, dude, how the hell am I not remembering this? You know, like it was really driving me nuts. My head was being was really rattled or addled, whatever you want to say. And I got so heated. Listen to this. My entire body was covered in sweat. I wish that was an exaggeration. I'm serious. My entire body was sweaty as shit. I had to turn my air conditioner to 70 degrees to cool the ambient temperature of the room down by about 8 degrees. And then I had to like really like ice myself. All right. I was that upset. It was this thing when I get pissed off, my adrenaline starts pumping, my body temperature rises, I start sweating profusely, and I get really mad. And that's what happened last night. That whole first hour, it just got worse and worse and worse. It was like losing, not knowing what I'm doing, dropping inputs, getting destroyed. And I'm like, dude, this is the complete polar opposite when I played Luke last week where I was learning. And I got so upset that I lost ridiculous amounts of points. That first hour, I lost, arguably, 20 to 25 matches. And I went from, I think I was like at 19,300 points, so Diamond, all the way down to like lower 18,000 points. I was just lost a ridiculous amount of points because I was just, I couldn't stop the bleeding, I guess is the best way to describe it. Okay, so after an hour of getting slapped around, I basically said, I gotta step away. I did. I took a break. I used the bathroom. I cooled down. I came back after that hour, and I reapplied myself. And I'm going to be honest, too, the chat had a lot to do with it. They were trolling like crazy. Like, the chat last night was ridiculously out of control. Because what happens is when people hear, oh, Phil's doing bad and he's getting tilted, all the trolls come in. So you had these people coming in acting like assholes, and they were really, really, like twisting me in a bad way, because not only was I already upset, but then they're just exacerbating it, right? I guess that's the nature of the beast when you're a streamer, is that people are going to jump on that bandwagon. Let's pile on your misery, right? I mean, it's fucked up to think that that's how people act, but it is. That's how they act on the internet. A lot of people are assholes, right? So anyway, I came back, and the second hour, I did start to get better. And the thing is, like, what it is, the rust started to come off. So now I'm starting to get the basic combos down. Someone helped me. It was Muon, actually, who had said, this is how you combo the level 3 in the corner. This is why you're dropping it, all right? So basically, after about an hour of insane amount of losses and losing all my points in rank and going back to platinum and everything, I recouped. And I went on a tear, and I ended up basically doing much better and ended up winning way more than I lost in that second hour. Problem was, the damage was already done. I mean, I had lost so many matches that first hour. But here's the cool and interesting thing about it. Because I started going on a tear, I started gaining a ton of points. I guess the way the game works is that if you continuously keep getting wins, I guess it stacks your points. I don't know how it works because I'm not really nuanced in it. Like, I'm sure the FGC people out there will be like, well, yeah, if you get this many wins, there's this many points, and you get this and that. I don't know how it works. All I know is that I started getting wins, and all of a sudden my points started accumulating huge. By the end of the night, I had not only earned back all the points that I had lost with Luke, I gained some. So I started off with like 19,300. I ended up with like 19,450 or something like that. So I actually gained some points. Not a lot, but I was happy to just get back to where I had started after that disaster of the first hour of the stream. Okay? So overall last night, the stream, I did terribly. I had 24 wins and 33 losses for only 42% win-loss ratio. That's bad, okay? At most, you want to break even. You want to have 50-50. You never want to be going down. But what are you going to do? It was cool because what a night and day difference. With Lily, I am dominating. I am doing awesome stuff, new tech that I had learned and everything, and I'm playing really well, and everything's going great. And then I go to Luke, and it's like, suck ass, right? But I'm happy that I recovered by the end. And I do feel like if I play Luke again, I'm going to do better because now I kind of understand more of his more basic combos and strategies. Now that I've had the 2 sessions under my belt, I start to get more comfortable with the character, you see? So I would say, if you were to ask me right now, like, who are your favorite characters, who are your best ones, I would say my top 4, Blanca's still my best character in Street Fighter 6. Then I would say it's kind of a tie between Zangief and Lily. I like both characters. They're both kind of lower tier, but I really enjoy both of them. And then I would say probably 4th place would be my Luke. And then after that, it's a negligible. Like my Marisa, I don't really think my Marisa is very good. Like I first when I started playing with the character, I liked her. But the more I played with her, I was like, nah, I don't really like her as much anymore. I don't know. Maybe she's just too basic for me. I don't know. I say that, but then, you know, characters like Lily are incredibly basic too. I don't know. You know who I really like? Dalsim. But you know who I suck with? Dalsim. Like, I really want to play more with Dalsim. I like the character build a lot. I think he's really unique and interesting. But in this game, he's very, very, very complicated. And he's very slow. And I would have to practice a lot with Dalsim to get better. Right now, I'm at Platinum 2-star with him. But I haven't played with him in ages. So maybe one of these days, I will go back and try to learn some Dalsim tech. And then try to apply that and play some online play with Dalsim. Keep in mind, the last time I played with Dalsim, I wasn't even parrying. Okay? I hadn't even parried at all. So, like, Now, if I were to do a session with him, maybe I'd do better, all right? But anyway, it went pretty good overall. I still had a great day. It was a supportive day. Thank you to anyone who supported the streams yesterday. Street Fighter 6 continues on. There'll be more coming up in the week. We'll talk about that in a sec, all right? But it was a good day yesterday. I'm very happy that both Zangief and Lily, I've improved dramatically with both, and they're on the edge of hitting Diamond. That's really cool. Okay. All right. So, well, should we go through the schedule? Now, you know what? I'd like to give you an update. Let's go out, before we go to the schedule, let's do an update on the event that comes in 1 week. Are you guys aware of this? I wonder if you're even aware. In 1 week's time, 1 week from today, we're doing a special long-form React event over on my reacting channel, DSP Reacts. It is the Dark Side of Machinima event. During this event, I'm going to be reacting to the June the King YouTube documentary about Machinima, the MCN and company, that at one point was at the highest levels of prominence on YouTube, and literally through bad management and awful financial decisions ruined themselves, and they're now out of business. This is a company that I was partnered with for over 6 years on YouTube, and I was one of the big holdouts when everyone else was jumping ship and saying, you know, Machinima is a sinking ship. I stayed with them till almost the end, and I have a lot of different stories in regards to my relations with them, and that's what I'd like to talk with you about right now. I have finished going through all my Machinima emails. I went through hundreds of them. Okay? Basically, the last 2 nights, I spent like 2 hours a night sifting through them before I went to sleep, screen capturing and everything. And there's a lot there. Just to give you a few previews, the way I'm going to try to work this out is that I'm going to try to sort these emails by topic and by story to make it interesting. Some of the stories, admittedly, I thought would be more interesting than they are. While other stories I didn't even remember, and this is very interesting. Like, for example, I actually had relations with Machinima in 2009. Before I ever partnered with them in 2011, I forgot all about that because they actually tried to scam me. I had forgotten all about that shit. Yeah, they tried to pull like a bait and switch scam on me with the Respawn channel, and I ended up not doing business with them for 2 years because they tried to be dishonest with me. And I can actually show you those emails and everything. Let's see. So that was my first relation. Then, you know, I started talking with Hutch, and Hutch basically introduced me to Machinima and got me partnered with them. And then what I could show, man, I'm trying to think. I think the first major thing after being partnered with them would just be seeing some of the money I was making, which was ridiculously exorbitant back in the day. It's nothing like what I make today. I mean, it was wild and nuts how much money was to be made just on ad revenue on YouTube. This was before crowdfunding or anything. It was wild, okay? And then, probably the major things with them would have been like the E3 trip in 2012, how they planned all of that out and how weird it was planned and how ridiculously it was planned. Because I've actually never told you guys the full story. I told you a story that spun it positively because I was working with Machinima at the time. I couldn't actually tell you the truth about what a shit show that entire trip was, how they ran it insanely poorly. It was chaotic. It was disorganized. It was a mess. It was a bunch of kids getting drunk and being stupid. It was really dumb. So basically, I'm going to tell you the real story about that now, but I have some emails and things to kind of corroborate what I said back in the day. And I can show you that stuff now. And now I'm trying to think, like, what's the next thing? Because there's, like, different things that happened over the years. I guess the next major thing would have been the contract renegotiation, where they renegotiated for way less money, and a bunch of YouTubers jumped ship after that because no one was expecting them to just start paying you less money when you didn't do anything wrong, but they did. And then I guess the next one would have been, let me see here. The Content ID debacle, where in late 2013, Content ID hit YouTube for the first time, and everyone was getting all their videos claimed and couldn't make any money on them. And so you had to basically become a managed partner in order to avoid that. And I did. Luckily, I became a managed partner with them. And then I think, that's when Machinima got weird. Because, like, in the year of 2014 and 2015, all of a sudden they started being buddy-buddy. And they started constantly trying to meet with you and get into, like, promotional opportunities, but also send you free games and stuff. And it was weird because I've been partnered with them since 2011. And it wasn't until, like, 2014, 2015 that they started actually acting like a partner company. And I was like, it's weird. Because they didn't really do anything for me before that besides E3. And I was like, now all of a sudden they're, like, all over me with stuff. Then, of course, we got the saga of This Is How You Don't Play, and how Machinima interjected themselves into that discussion I never wanted them to be involved. They got themselves involved. They were the ones who said, we want to take down This Is How You Don't Play videos. We want to claim those videos to make ad revenue for us. I didn't care. But they were the ones who were actively doing that. And I actually have emails showing how they're talking about doing it and what their strategy was and everything. And I was like, I mean, I'll just go with the flow. You guys are the company who's my partner network. You're the legal experts on this, not me. I have nothing to do with it. So I got those emails to show you. And then, of course, we got the false copyright strike saga in 2015, where DSPGaming got hit with a ton of false copyright strikes. And yes, Machinima advised me to delete hundreds of videos off my channel, as you'll see, in order to avoid more copyright strikes. Then we've got, I think there's one more thing that happened in 2016, but I can't remember what it was. And then, of course, we got the breakup saga, which was 2017, when basically I had a big falling out with Machinima during the adpocalypse, where they were not treating me with respect and they were just ignoring me for like 2-3 weeks and not really helping me while my business was falling apart all around me. And they gave me arguably some of the worst advice I had ever saw in my life. Like, seriously, I had never seen such bad advice. I kind of don't want to spoil what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of don't want to spoil yet, because I think that'll actually be pretty interesting for you to see for yourself. But the advice they were giving me during the adpocalypse was one of the most ludicrous suggestions I've ever heard in my life. But I can't wait to show you, because I saved everything. So I have all of these. What I need to do is in the next week, sit down and sort them into these topics and basically get them available to load into my capture software to show you the emails that are kind of the most important. Here's the thing. I'm not kidding you. I have hundreds of emails. All right? I mean, just yesterday, I sent myself 4 emails, and each one had about 10 to 20 emails in it. And now I worked on it again last night, and I probably got another. Let's see here. Oh, my God. Wow. Probably another, I'm not even kidding you, another 50 to 60 emails. Wow. So, yeah, I got some work to do. I basically have to sort through all of that. And I have to make it so that it makes sense and it's interesting. I don't want to just show you 400 emails and be like, okay, here we are. No, I want to tell stories with these emails, you see? So I need to categorize it into these. I guess it's hilarious because my detractors say that my life has been a bunch of sagas, kind of like an anime, right? There's this saga, then that saga, the false copyright saga, the DDoS saga, the swatting saga, the incident saga, this saga, that saga. As dumb as that sounds, when it comes to Machinima, yeah, it kind of makes sense for this event to me to sort it like that. And so that way I can have like talking points for each story I want to tell, and then show up the corroborating emails that are pertinent to that story. You see? So, this is going to be pretty cool. Because it's actually, I mean, this is my 15-year anniversary coming up, right? This event essentially will be covering the years of like 2009 through early 2017. It's going to be kind of a trip down memory lane of all this stuff that kind of happened to me and Machinima was involved with. And fully disclosing it for the first time. I've never fully disclosed the truth behind any of this stuff because I worked with the company, and obviously when you're working with a company and they're the ones who are paying you, you don't want to be talking junk about them. You don't want to be showing their shortcomings and the problems that you had with them. And a lot of the times I did hold my tongue when it came to Machinima because I knew you know what they say, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So you'll see what I mean when we get with this event next week. It's 1 week from today, but it's not here. It's over on DSP Reacts all day long. So first we're going to be reacting to the June the King documentary about this, but then I'm going to be doing this entire saga myself, all right, where basically I go through my whole history with this company and show you the ups and downs that I had with them, all right? It should be pretty fun. It's something unique and different and interesting for React content. I hope that you will join me. Plus, by the way, there'll be food and other fun stuff going on that day, too. It's not just that. There'll be other stuff. We'll be talking and chilling and everything. You know what I mean? So there you go. All right. So, very nice, guys. That's coming up. And, you know, all I need to do now is basically, like I said, sort the emails, and I'll be good to go for that event. You know me. I'm good at talking and telling stories and recapping history and everything. So it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of getting everything sorted for the event. I'll have to take some time out this week to do that. But it's all good, and I hope you'll join me for that next week. All right? All right, so now that we're all caught up on all that stuff, let's talk about the schedule. Today, no Street Fighter 6. I know some of you are very happy about that. We're starting off today with Final Fantasy 16. Oh, shit. Some people are very upset about that, though. Like, you're still playing this game? Yes, I am. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 16. We're not dropping it now. In fact, as of this morning, we are currently 26 plus hours into the game. All right? And if you actually, like, take a look at what people have been saying, I'm definitely more than halfway through it, story-wise. And what people have actually said is that once you finally reach about the final third to quarter of the game, it is, like, very entertaining, some of the best, RPG stuff in years, but you have to get to that point. Because until you get to that point, there's a lot of balance between, here's some interesting story, and here's 2 hours of boredom. And that's exactly what we've experienced, that balance, okay? Although I don't really know if it's much of a balance, it just feels like this game's really good. Wow, they ruined it. Whoa, this game's really good again. Well, they ruined it again, It's kind of like bouncing off of 2 different walls. I don't like that. I just want to kind of have the game just be good in general. So, today, from what I'm going to understand, we are about to start off in a story segment. And we can continue on with an interesting segment. Hopefully it's good. And I've heard that last stream that we did where it was literally fetch questing for Mid as she prepared the ship or whatever, that was the worst filler content in the game. And now the game should basically, it's all uphill from, or it's all downhill from here. No, wait. What's the word? It's down? No. It's all, everything's better from here. So it's all uphill from here. Basically, you keep getting better the further into the game you get from now on. I forget the saying now. Wow, I completely had a brain fart on this saying. But anyway, yeah, I hope so. Like, I literally hope that now the ending of the game would be good. I seriously hope that. Because I want to see what the best parts of the game are. I've been waiting. So let's find out. Let's see what happens today. Okay, hopefully it's a great stream. Hopefully you guys will join me for it and chill with me. As you know, when I play Final Fantasy, it's a very interactive stream where we can talk and hang out and have that relaxed atmosphere, as opposed to when I'm playing Street Fighter, where I'm so busy hyper-focused on the game that I can't really chill with you guys, right? So there you go. There you go. JJNS says, nowhere to go but up. That's exactly the saying I was trying to think of. At this point, once we're down with all the low parts, there's nowhere left to go but up. You're absolutely right. That's what I meant to say, JJNS. Thank you. That's a good saying. I like that one. All right. By the way, I'm going to turn on my fan in the office for a second. Hold on. Here we go. All right, now. Folks, let's talk about tonight. Tonight's late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time is the premiere of Grand Theft Auto 5 Xbox Series X Edition. I guess we could just call it the 10-year anniversary playthrough. I think that's kind of what we should call it. Like the anniversary playthrough. Because it's 10 years since the game released. And it's a 10-year anniversary of my original playthrough. However, I still don't even know if I have the right version of the game. Because as you know, yesterday live on this stream, we were trying to figure it out. And listed on Xbox Live, there's the Xbox One version, the Xbox Series X version, okay, separate. When you try to get the Series X version, nothing happens. You click install, and it literally just sits there, and nothing happens at all, okay? Now, you can install the Xbox One version by itself, but there's also something that says it's a bundle. And it says the bundle includes Xbox One and Series X editions, plus GTA Online. So, I installed the bundle, right? But now on my dashboard, the only thing that it shows is the Xbox One version of the game and nothing else. And if you try to install other versions, nothing happens. It just sits there. Nothing happens at all. So, I have no idea what's going on with this. I won't know until later today when we boot it up tonight and we test it for the first time and we see what the hell it is. Keep in mind, we are in no hurry for this playthrough. So what we'll do is we'll boot it up, we'll test it and see what the version is. I've heard that there is a streamer version now of GTA 5 that supposedly, if you play it with the streamer version enabled, that it should only play music in the game that's safe for streaming, which I hope is true, because I don't want my stream to get shut down, and I don't want my videos to get muted and blocked, or else what's the point of me playing the game, right? I want you guys to be able to watch the damn game. Why else would I be playing it? So, let's see what happens, and go from there. North Scout, you are not listening at all. It says, why didn't you install it before the stream started? What did I just say? I said I have it installed on my Xbox, but it's just not clear if it's the right version or not, and there's no way to tell unless we try it. Anyway, we'll see tonight together. Well, again, it's more chill, no pressure here. This is more of a celebration anniversary playthrough, going down memory lane. 10 years ago, things were very different. 10 years ago, I had just started direct capture and live streaming. There was no stream interaction. I didn't talk to anyone in the chat. There was no webcam or face cam at all. It was literally just me playing a game as if it was me playing it by myself. And it was fun, but at the same time, I think people would love to see a more interactive GTA stream for that game that I never did. So I think it's going to be a fun playthrough, especially if the graphics are better now and everything, which apparently they have been dramatically improved. So I guess we'll see. All right? I guess we'll see. Go from there. We'll try to figure it out tonight. All right? So that's tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Please join me for the premiere of Grand Theft Auto 5 anniversary playthrough. There you go. Tomorrow, Sunday, is React Day. And that means it is time for DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. If you're a channel member over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel, please post up your videos now. If you didn't do so yet, you're not going to get in for the show, because what happens is at the end of this night stream tonight, and the end of the GTA stream, I'm actually going to sit down and make the playlist, which is going to have all the videos for tomorrow's stream. And if you didn't post up your videos by the time I make that playlist tonight after the late stream, you're asked out. I'm not going to be adding videos last minute. So please do. How do you do that? You head to the community tab of the main channel page of DSP Reacts, and there's 3 members-only posts there where you can post up your videos. Please do so. The more the merrier, and the better the show is, the more videos are nominated. In fact, last week, I would argue, was one of the best React shows I'd done in months. Why? Because someone had been generous and gifted about 20 memberships to DSP Reacts. And when they did that, since more people had the opportunity to nominate videos, we had bigger variety, and we had some videos that we never even had seen before, that style of video, and it worked well. The show went really well. So I hope you will join me for this tomorrow during the day stream over on DSP Reacts, all right? Now, tomorrow night, normally what we've been doing the last 2 weeks has been doing community nights in Street Fighter 6 every Sunday night, and people have liked this because they can jump in and play me with a variety of characters, and they've gone pretty smoothly. Last week's was really smooth, but we got a problem this week. The servers are going down for maintenance at 8 p.m. Pacific time because they're preparing for the impending release of the new DLC character Rashid on Monday. So because of that, we can't do community night on Sunday night. Therefore, we're just going to do another night of GTA 5. So we're going to have 2 nights of GTA 5 in a row, tonight and tomorrow night, okay? So there you go. And then Monday will be Street Fighter 6 all day as we explore the new character Rashid. He's returning for Street Fighter 5. Everyone's excited for the character, hoping that he's better than he was in Street Fighter 5. What we'll do is, as usual, on the first stream, we'll go into his guide to learn his basics. Then we'll do some combo trials. Then we'll probably mess around in training mode for a little bit, try to learn some combos and strategies. Then we'll probably go to casual play and use him for a little bit there till we figure out basics, and then try to take him into rank. And that's all day tomorrow. Now, the other major thing about this is that as of tomorrow, they are changing the way that you do Drive Rush in Street Fighter 6. Up until now, if you wanted to Drive Rush, and you were doing an attack, let's say you were doing Medium Punch, and then you could cancel off of Medium Punch, you would have to do this. Dash with your joystick. And you would cancel out of that Medium Punch and do this dash animation with a green, paint coming off of your character. And it would use some of your drive meter, and it would allow you to continue your combo and keep the offensive. Problem is, with a lot of characters, to do this doesn't work as easily because a lot of their moves are from a different angle. Like some characters, you have to do a low kick or back in a button. And trying to go from back forward to do a dash cancel actually can give you the wrong special move, and it makes it more difficult to use this drive rushing with certain characters. For me, for example, last night when I was actually using Luke, I was having a ton of problems consistently getting my drive rushes, and it sucked. So now they're changing it. Instead of being a double tap, it's 2 buttons. It's the 2 medium buttons. This should make drive rushing way more easy to do, and I feel like it's going to change the game for people who were having some issues with the drive rushing. For me, I mean, I don't always have issues with it, but sometimes I do. I think it's going to make it a lot more free-flowing and more fast-paced, a lot more rush down in the game. I guess we'll see. But that change happens tomorrow. But I'm only using Rashid tomorrow. I guess we'll see. And go from there. But it should be fun to try the new character all day long and see how we do with them. Okay? So that's tomorrow. Tuesday, Final Fantasy 16 will continue on the main gameplay stream, and then Tuesday night we're actually going to do our weekly community night, and that'll be open community night. Anyone could join. I'm gonna be using my lower tier character, so you're not gonna see me use Blanca again. I'll probably mess around a little bit more, maybe Rashid, because I'll have used him the day before. Maybe a little more Luke. Maybe I'll try, more Ryu. Dalsim for sure. Those are the nights I get to use Dalsim, I feel. So I'll probably use some Dalsim and, maybe a little bit of Marisa, get a little bit of variety in, pick all the different characters, rather than just picking just Blanca, okay? And then, the main stream on Wednesday, my final consecutive streaming day this week, will be Blanca. We will once again try to level up Blanca through the ranks of Diamond. And so right now he's at Diamond 4-star. I'm hoping, my goal is by the end of Wednesday, he'll be Diamond 5-star. I do not think we will get him to Master on Wednesday. I don't believe we will. It's a big climb. You need a lot of points to get him to Master. But if we can at least get him to Diamond 5-star, I think that would be great. So Blanca returns on Wednesday's daytime stream, and then Wednesday night we will have a third stream of the week of Grand Theft Auto 5, the anniversary playthrough. All right? So, in recap, today it's Final Fantasy 16 and GTA 5 premiering. Tomorrow it's my React show, DSP versus the Internet, and more GTA 5. On Monday, it's Rashid all day long in Street Fighter 6, plus checking out the new Drive Rush inputs. On Tuesday, it's more Final Fantasy 16 and my community night lobby in Street Fighter 6. And then on Wednesday, it's Blanca continuing on and trying to level him up on the mainstream, trying to get him to, 5-star Diamond or higher. And then it's more GTA 5 on the late stream. So good variety coming up this week. 5 more streaming days, good stuff. And I'm happy that this weekend, no Street Fighter this weekend, so people can stop complaining that I'm playing Street Fighter every day. Because now you're getting 2 entire days with no Street Fighter whatsoever. So there you go. Hopefully you're appeased. And being that I'm playing GTA 5 tonight, I hope that we'll get a good crowd for that. Even if it's not a ginormous mainstream crowd, I do hope that we get a solid crowd for it. It is an anniversary playthrough for me. It's a game I've only played once fully ever. I'm not going to remember as much about the plot and everything because it's only been one playthrough I ever did of it. So it should be fun and special and interesting, and I hope you'll join me for that tonight. Okay? Cool. All right. Outside of all of that, I only have a couple quick news stories to talk about before we get to shout-outs. Let's see here. What do I want to talk about? News story number 1. Just listen to this. Ubisoft has begun sending out notices to gamers who have not logged into their Ubisoft online accounts in many years, saying, hey, how you doing? So we noticed you didn't log into your Ubisoft account. Well, if you don't log in within 30 days, we're deleting your account and all the games associated with it. I'm not kidding. Here. Oh. Can I do it? Well, I guess I can. Here is the actual Ubisoft support response tweet. I'll read it to you word from word. Hey there. We want to chime in and tell you that you can avoid having account closure by logging into your account within the 30 days since receiving the email pictured and selecting the cancel account closure link contained in the email. We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games or account. If you have any difficulties logging in, create a support case with us. They're actually confirming this is real. So they just decided arbitrarily, if you haven't logged into your account in years, we're just going to delete it just because we feel like it. There's no purpose to doing this besides maybe saving some server space for them or something, but they just don't care. They're like, oh, well, we just decided to delete everything you own because you haven't logged in a couple of years. Nice. I actually don't even know what else to say about that. It's 100% anti-consumer. It's fucked up. It's just in line with what Ubisoft is. It's in line with Yves Guillemot's mantra as the leader of Ubisoft. I mean, he doesn't give 2 fucks about anything. The guy's a terrible leader, and his company consistently makes bad decisions over and over. And we just, it seems like there's no repercussions for this company. They just continuously do the wrong thing, yet somehow they keep getting by, and it's all good for some reason. It's very bizarre to me that this is the case, but whatever. So, hey, if you have an Ubisoft account and you haven't logged in years, I mean, for me, at least once or twice a year, usually, there's an Ubisoft game that I play, so I'm logging in actively and getting access to the games and stuff. Plus, most of the games that I buy aren't through the Ubisoft accounts. Most of the games that I've ever bought were through, like, Xbox Live, PlayStation Network. It won't affect that. This is games that you got directly through Ubisoft. Because remember, they had like their own app and stuff on PC and stuff like that to get their games or whatever. So that's what you got to be careful of. That's what it is. But still, it's just bizarre, right? It's absolutely bizarre that they would do that. You own the rights to the game. You bought them. What gives them the right to just say, well, we're deleting everything, fuck off? Like, what? No, I paid you money. So now you owe me something for that. You can't just delete it because I haven't checked it out in 2 years, you know? I don't know. But anyway, that's what's going on with them. More of the same. Slayer says, isn't it normal that your data would get deleted if you didn't log in for a long time? Well, here's the thing. Yes and no. There's a difference between a free account that you haven't used in years, and yes, they are trying to delete, say, defunct or abandoned accounts, versus, oh, you own digital rights to games associated with that account, and if they delete the account, you lose your games. That's different, you see? In which case, it's free, and therefore they can do whatever they want with it because it's free, versus something you paid for. You see, that's the difference. Here's an interesting story. Just a couple of years ago, we were all talking about these NFTs. Forget about it tokens. What are they? Nonsensical fucking nut tokens. Whatever they were, the NFT stands for, right? And when they were first announced, it was absolutely hilarious because we all agreed as gamers. We were like, NFTs don't seem to have any real purpose or value besides making money for corporations and companies. Why would we ever care about NFTs? And if you remember, people were really pushing NFTs. Oh, you own a digital piece of history and you own the rights to it and blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, no, you don't. Literally, anyone could copy it. It doesn't matter if you own the original, if the copy's identical. This doesn't make any sense. This whole NFT thing is so fucking stupid. It's completely dumb, right? So, the reason I bring it up today is because I saw a really funny tweet this morning. So, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when the NFTs were first on the rise and everyone was talking about them and trying to buy and sell them and make money, there was a tweet of Jack Dorsey, which I believe he was the creator of Twitter, correct? So, his first tweet ever was in March 21st of 2006, all right? And his first tweet ever, basically, it says, just setting up my Twitter. They made an NFT of his first tweet ever, all right? And they sold it, get this, they sold the NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet ever from 2006 for $2.9 million. Guess how much money that NFT is worth today? I'm sure it is absolutely appreciated in value, $4. $4. Oh my God. What a bunch of fucking nitwit idiots that spent all their money on this NFT bullshit and lost everything. I'm sure there's people who thought this was going to be like the new thing. They probably invested a ton of money into it. And of course, who? Rich people. Dumbasses. Who, oh, I got to jump on that. Let me throw money at it. It ain't worth shit. Who the fuck cares about NFTs? Remember when 2-3 years ago, companies like Ubisoft were telling us, oh, NFTs will be the future of games because when you play games, you can buy or earn NFTs, and then you could resell those later for money. So while you're playing games, you could actually be making money and earning. It's like, yeah, I also play games and make money. It's called being a content creator. Not trying to resell some bullshit token that means nothing. It's complete nonsense. Right? It's hilarious. It's like, oh, we found out this revolutionary new way that you can make money while playing video games. Oh, you mean like the tens of thousands of people on the internet who are doing that right now? You fucking idiots. Anyway, yeah, it's laughable. It's ridiculously stupid. I can't believe that anyone ever spent any money on an NFT. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, people just, they take gambles, they do silly things, and then they bite the bullet, right? People out there who blew all their money on cryptocurrency, people who blew all their money on all these other bad investments, this is just another one, right? Anyway, one more piece of news today. Yesterday at San Diego Comic-Con, a bunch of information was released about Mortal Kombat 1. 3 trailers. Although it's hilarious because they said there's 3 trailers coming out about MK1. Wrong. Here's what came out. A trailer for a new animated series starring Johnny Cage that I don't really care about. That's stupid. A trailer announcing the first Season Pass DLC characters for Mortal Kombat 1, all of which I've already leaked and everyone knew about, and shows absolutely no gameplay. It's 50 seconds long. So that's not a real trailer either. But there was one real trailer. It was about 4 minutes long, and it actually showcased 3 characters. Interesting, there's one character who's brand new. She's, I guess, a female martial artist who I guess used to be the captain of the Royal Guard, who used to defend the royal family in Outworld. And I don't know, I forgot her name, Lin May or something like that. I didn't even see it in writing, so I heard it once and I forgot what it was. But she looks pretty interesting. She has, some interesting moves. She has some special powers, I guess. And I'm wondering if, like, everyone in the royal family has those powers, because when I saw her powers, I was like, oh, it looks a little bit like Sindel. So maybe that's what it was. Li Mei? It's Li Mei, I'm being told. Okay. She looked pretty good for a character. She, voice actress did a pretty good job. And she looks like she's going to be a major part of the story. Then there's another woman who's a part of the Royal Guard. And she's, I guess she's supposed to be, like of African descent. And she uses a staff, but it turns into, like, a whip. It's kind of a unique weapon. It kind of reminds me of the guy who had the double whips for Mortal Kombat. What was it? Mortal Kombat 10. But instead it's like a staff with a whip on it or whatever. It's like an energy whip. Looks all right. I don't know who she is. I don't know if that's supposed to be a new character or not. I couldn't tell. I also don't remember the name. Because people are saying, oh, that Li Mei character actually is from previous Mortal Kombats. Well, she must have been from ones I didn't play. So basically not 1 through 4. You're talking about the later installments. All right, see, I didn't play those. So I didn't even know she was a returning character. Oh, it's Tanya. That's her name, Tanya. So Abdullah says Tanya used to look Middle Eastern. Now they made her look African, which is a strange design choice. Oh, I have no idea. Because Tanya, what game was Tanya in? Wait a minute. Was she in Mortal Kombat 4? I think she was in Mortal Kombat 4. Yeah, now I'm remembering. Okay. Now, well, I mean, Mortal Kombat 4, admittedly, I didn't play as much. That was the one that kind of died in arcades. People didn't like it, so they kind of stopped playing Mortal Kombat after that in arcades. That's right. Okay. Well, that's cool to see her come back, I guess. But you know what this screams? Tell you what it screams. Fucking, oh my God! What Black Panther? What's the name of the country? I'm having a brain fart again. What is the name of the country in Black Panther? Wakanda. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. I had a bunch of things in my head. She seems to be like she's supposed to be a spin-off of like a Wakandan warrior. That's exactly what it looks like. That they wanted to change the character design to buy in on Marvel and Black Panther and kind of ride that wave of popularity on that. It definitely looks like that's what they were doing. And then the third character, correct me if I'm wrong, is it not Baraka? But isn't it weird? Did they change the origin of his race? Because in the original Mortal Kombat games, they were just a race of people in Outworld. But now what they're trying to say is, oh, these are actually normal people who got infected with a disease, and the disease makes their bodies ultra deform, and that's why in this universe of MK1, the reboot, Melina started out as a normal princess, but now she's becoming deformed just like Baraka, and so Baraka's a fighter, and I guess the plot will be that Melina is also sick and becoming like one of them, but that was never like that, right? I don't remember it being like that. I remember that they were just a normal race. They were supposed to look like that. And now all of a sudden they changed the plot to be, oh, they're sick and they're being deformed by this sickness or illness or something, right? Very weird. But anyway, when they showed gameplay, the gameplay looked pretty good to me. I thought that the gameplay looked decent. Now, again, I haven't played it hands-on yet. I will definitely say this. The graphics are not as good as Street Fighter 6. I mean, Street Fighter 6 running on the RE engine. It's the proprietary engine from Capcom, and this is a really sweet graphical engine. I wasn't really expecting MK1 to look as good, but it actually, in my opinion, doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty decent. Looks good for a modern console. As long as it runs smooth during combat, I don't really have an issue. But it was a pretty good trailer, I would say. It's cool to see, like people have said, to see these return characters come back who you didn't know who was going to be in this one. You know, Baraka was in MK9, and then that was it. Like, he never came back after that, right? So it's cool to see them have some return characters, but also some characters from previous Mortal Kombat games come back, too. Now, I don't know about Li Mei. I didn't even know she existed, but Tanya from MK4 is interesting. Okay. So that's the Mortal Kombat news, everybody. All right. That's what I got for today. So let's now do some shout-outs, and then I guess we'll get to some Q&A or whatever. So we start off today with a super chat from Spaniard Prince. And it's a big one, $19.99. Thank you so much to Spaniard Prince. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. That's a great way to start the day. Thank you. And he says, I enjoy watching you play Street Fighter 6. More Blanca, please. I will deliver on that request. This coming Wednesday, it's all about the Blanca. And like I said, what I will do is try to watch some tech videos before Wednesday, absorb some new Blanca tech, and hopefully implement that in my game. And hopefully, I can get my Blanca to master level. That would be really cool if I could. I'm really going to work hard and hopefully, but don't get our hopes up. I don't think he's going to hit master on Wednesday. I think maybe it'll be like 5-star diamond by the end of the stream. So, okay. Thank you for that, Spaniard Prince. I also received a $5 tip from Lady Charisma. So thank you, Lady Charisma, for a $5 tip. Let's get you on the leaderboard and see what you have to say. Our first tip of the day. All right, so Lady Charisma says, on one of your recent podcasts, you mentioned trying Crunchyroll. That's right, so allow me to explain. It has been added in as a limited time feature of being a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, that you get a 75-day subscription to Crunchyroll. So it's like 10 weeks, something like that, around 10 weeks of free Crunchyroll. And actually, it's right on your dashboard. Like on my Xbox Series X yesterday, it was sitting right there. It said, click here to redeem or whatever. I might take advantage of it. I'll think about it. Okay? So he says, I think this could be a cool thing. You would be stepping out of your comfort zone. The deal is they are going with is kind of cheap. They're giving you 2 months at the start of a new anime season, which lasts 3 months. 12 to 13 episodes. But given how there are so many series to check out, it would also be an interesting thing. Also, the new Dragon Ball movie dropped on it, so that could be a review right there. I would love to give recommendations if you're going through with this. Interesting. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how it works. I would have to figure out how exactly it works. Is it that you do it and then you get an actual subscription to Crunchyroll and you can get the Crunchyroll app on your phone and everything? Or is it like, oh, well, because it's through Game Pass Ultimate, you can only watch it on your Xbox through an app on your Xbox or something like that? Because that's going to limit. I mean, I'm not going to sit here in the office watching fucking anime. You know what I mean? So I guess it really depends on how it works. I haven't looked into it yet. And also, I think it lasts, didn't they say that it lasts like a month or two? Because you're saying that it only lasts for 75 days, but isn't it 75 days from the day you activate it? So let's say that an anime starts today and ends in 3 months. Well, then don't activate it today. Activate it in a month and a half, and now you'll have it activated over the course of the time that anime is running. You'll be able to watch the whole thing, right? I think that would make more sense then. Stagger your activation. I'm being told it does work on any device. It's exactly the same as if you signed up for the paid service. So there you go. So you can get the app on your phone or whatever. All right, that's cool. Because if we were going to do it, I'd probably get it on my phone, probably also get it on my TV, and access it from there. I don't want to sit in this office watching fucking anime stuck, tied to my Xbox. Okay, but I think what I would do, I think it would make more sense then, if that's the case, to basically wait a month or two, and maybe get it in like late August or something, so that way it'll extend. If, like you said, if there's a whole anime series to watch, a whole season, I could make sure that I'm be able to watch the whole thing, right? I guess we'll have to see. I brought it up with my wife last night too. And I said she's interested. I don't know if we're interested in it or not right now. We'll see. We'll think about it. But keep reminding me, because I think it's something. If it's part of the fucking thing, why wouldn't I at least watch a movie or two? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay. Cool. I guess we'll have to redeem it by a certain time and do that. Slayer says maybe you could try to catch up on Attack on Titan. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years. I only saw the first season or 2 seasons. I don't even know how it splits up. I saw it to the point where they had left. They were outside of the city, and they were fighting the giant, almost like, I think they were running into the giants that looked more like apes, and that's where I stopped watching. So I don't even know why they looked like apes. I have no idea. I never got that lore. I just stopped watching at that point. So I'm sure that was like early on. There's probably like 10 more seasons after that or something, right? Okay. All right. So thank you, Lady Charisma, for that first tip of the day. So just a quick reminder. Anything is appreciated. This is how I make my living, is crowdfunding. I know we're playing Final Fantasy 16 today. That turns off a lot of people. They find the game boring. For those of you who like the game, if you could support the stream, I'd appreciate it by giving it a like. maybe a super chat, a membership, a gifted membership, or a tip, all critical to the support and the continued success of the channel. If you could, please consider becoming a member today or gifting a membership. We're trying to boost our member numbers again. It's been a while. The members kind of, very, very much, dwindled a bit there. And it would be great to build them back up. I firmly believe once we get to the fall gaming season, once we get to, September, and there's nonstop new releases coming out, you're going to see people come back and reinvigorate the channel with that kind of support. Right now, it's hard when there's really almost no new games, and the games coming out are kind of like, not big deals. It's hard. It's hard to maintain, and, it is what it is. So thank you to those who are supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Darth Fig just did a $10 super chat. Thank you, Darth Fig. I'm going to click this. There's a new system that when you do a super chat, I have the ability to click on the super chat and give it a heart. I have no idea what that does, but I'll do it when I see them. I'll do that for you guys in the chat. I just did that. Darth Fig says, after beating Final Fantasy 16, I needed a true RPG fix. I got the Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster. I sat at the main menu for like 10 minutes just soaking in that epic theme. Few hours in, I have those adventure feels. Amazing game. Absolutely one of my favorite RPGs of all time, if not my favorite RPG of all time. I actually can't wait one day to play the Pixel Remaster with you guys because I love that game, and to hear all the music and the new graphics and everything is going to be super cool, I'm sure. But I did play it a few years ago, right? We did do a playthrough of it, I'd say in the last 5 years. Let's actually take a look here. We did, so my original playthrough was in 2012. All right, that I found. And then my most recent playthrough was in 2020. That was January of 2020. And that was a 40-hour long playthrough. And if you can believe it, it got claimed. Yeah. Some fuckers claimed the soundtrack. Fucking pieces of shit. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, I've played it twice. My original in 2012, which wasn't even direct capture, by the way. And then my awesome second run in, 2020. But the Pixel Remaster will be special because you're going to have the widescreen, right? You're going to have the better soundtrack. And, of course, they do some quality of life improvements in there, too. I can't wait to play that again with you guys. I love that game so much. That's the kind of game, I told you, even back in the day when I was younger, I would play that at least every few years. I would play it once. So maybe in the next couple of years, we'll play it again. It'll be excellent. Okay. I just received another super chat from SD Chargers. $2 tip. He said, excited for Cities 2. I have lots of tips for it. So you mean City Skylines 2, correct? If that's what you're talking about, yeah, it's an interesting game. It's basically SimCity, now that SimCity doesn't exist anymore and basically faded into obscurity. And a lot of people say that it's a super good game. And since it's on Game Pass, I'd like to check it out. It comes out this fall, right? So we'll probably check that out when it comes out. Exactly when the release date is, I'm not sure. But I would be interested in checking that out for you guys as like a chill playthrough. I also received another tip. I got a $5 tip from Canadian Kirk. I would love it if you watched the new Dragon Ball superhero movie and reviewed it. Is 32 gigs of RAM enough for you? What? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Is 32 gigs of RAM enough for me? For what? I don't even know how much RAM I have in my current PC. I have no idea. And this is a PC I've had for now over 9 years. I don't know how much RAM it had. I would think it probably has 64, but I don't know. But I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I wonder how much this laptop has, but this laptop is just a base laptop. It's not meant to be anything crazy. How would I even see that? Let's see here. If I go here and I search for what it would be, system, PC info. According to PC info on my PC, it says I only have 16 gigs of RAM on my desktop. Yep. It says it's an Intel Core i7 4930K CPU at 3.40 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's what it says. So I have no idea. When it comes to RAM, the more the better, but I have no idea why you're asking me about RAM. What are you talking about? Anyway, if you could tell me what you're talking about, maybe we'll discuss further. Mr. Puzzle says, what do you think about the upcoming cameo system in MK1? It's an interesting premise, but it's not unique. It's been done ages and ages ago. It actually debuted in the Versus series. In the first game that ever had that was Marvel versus Marvel versus Street Fighter. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, where basically you could have your teammate come in and do an assist attack. All right, but it was actually your teammate, like the other tagged out teammate would come in and do an assist attack, but then you would tag them in, you could use them. Then in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, you would actually have a specific assist character that would come in and just do an assist attack. And that's all that they were for, specifically, just for the assist. They weren't actually a playable character outside of that. Then in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they went back to the old style where it was actually your other player character who would come in and do the assist attack, but if they got hit, then they would take significant amount of damage. They had to be careful about that to not let them get hit. So this is like, you're talking not late 90s. The late 90s is when assist attacks like that debuted. But in this case, they're doing an interesting premise because they're putting it into a modern game. So it could be interesting, but I guess the real question is, how often can you call them out? Do they have tons of priority? Or are they just kind of out there to distract? Or are they out there to only extend a combo that you're already hitting? Because back in the day, those things were used for many different purposes. Sometimes they would come out and mix the opponent up. Like, oh crap, and I got to block a different way. And then they would get hit and you'd lead to a big combo. Sometimes they would come out in the middle of a combo and extend a combo. You know, sometimes it was an anti-air reversal attack. Someone's rushing you down. Oops. Guy comes out and knocks him into the air. And now you could jump up after the fact and follow up with a big combo punish. So they've always had like a lot of different uses in the older style fighting games that had them. But I'm not sure exactly how they'll be used in Mortal Kombat 1 until it comes out. Maybe there'll be a variety. That'd be cool. You got one that's like a reversal, so everyone's rushing you down, but someone comes out, boom, knocks you back with an uppercut, so it stops the rush down. While another one basically is just for extended combos. That could be pretty neat. I guess we'll see when the game comes out. They'll be pretty chaotic because you're going to have everyone learning these cameo fighters for the very first time. It's going to definitely mix up the game. So, okay. Let's see here. More tips coming in. Let's see here. I received a $2 tip from Zangief's Pupil. He says, hey, DSP Gaming, I had a hilarious loss yesterday. I was on a 10-game winning streak with Zangief. My cat decided to jump on my controller from behind me, and it lost the round. I dropped my controller on the floor. I hope it doesn't have any broken pieces. I pray for my controller. That can happen, man. I mean, as nice as it is to have a pet, sometimes you're in a heated competitive match, you don't realize what's going on around you. Your spatial awareness, environmental awareness is dulled, right? And the next thing you know, boom, the pet surprises you, and you're like, ah! And you drop. See, Jasper does not like this joystick. When I have this joystick on my lap, Jasper's like, oh, man, Dad, I want to come crawl on your lap and be silly and get some rubs and, you know, pets. And I can't do that when you got the joystick on your lap. So he basically sees the joystick and he's like, I'm out of here. And he'll take off usually when I'm playing fighting games with my joystick. But when I have this controller, you've seen. Sometimes I'm playing a game with the controller. He just crawls right on me and jumps on me all over the place. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Especially, you know, you're right. You gotta keep your controllers well maintained if you're gonna play a fighting game, because at any time, you know, that could affect your game. You're absolutely right. Well, I do wish you the best. I hope that your Geef continues to do well. Then I received another $2 tip. Okay, from an anonymous tipper, are you going to play with the car radio on or off of the GTA 5 playthrough? I don't know. Someone has told me, and I don't know if this is true, we won't know anything until we test this tonight. Someone has told me that in the modern versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 that they have added in a streamer mode. And supposedly the streamer mode is supposed to be safe for YouTube, so that whatever plays on it, whether it's just, I don't know if it's just like the in-game music, or if it's a selected soundtrack that won't get blocked and claimed on YouTube, I don't know. My concern, again, I just don't want my stream to get shut down, and I don't want the parts of my playthrough to get muted or blocked. I actually don't care about Content ID. I don't. Am I expecting to make insane amounts of ad revenue on a 10-year anniversary playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 5? No, I'm not. A couple bucks is fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I care about. But I don't want the thing. What's the point of playing the game if you can't watch it, right? What's the point of playing the game if it's muted the whole time? Sucks. This happened just recently when I was playing the Grand Theft Auto collection, the remastered collection, like 2 years ago. Yeah, certain songs got the videos fucked up, and then I had to try to edit the songs out to get the videos visible again. It was a nightmare. So I don't want to go through that again. So if it has a streamer mode, I'm gonna enable the streamer mode, and we'll hope for the best. All right. But that's what I'm rolling with. We'll see tonight when I boot the game up for the first time. We'll see what options are available in it and try to go from there. Okay? All right, so that's shout-outs for now, unless other people contribute. Thank you to those who have already. By the way, remember, guys, please like the stream. Engagement is key. Please like the stream if you're having a good time today on the podcast. Ventisky says, what was your favorite co-op playthrough with John Rambo back in the day? Red Dead, Dead Rising, Heavy Rain Taxidermist, or something else? Dude, we did so many. And again, I'm someone who, I don't deal in like absolutes. Like, this was the best, this was the worst. We just had, in general, here's the truth. And I don't know, here's the thing. I don't feel like John felt this way. And that's sad. But for me, when John Rambo came over, it never felt like work. Never. The rest of the week, when I was sitting here grinding, I say sitting here, it wasn't here. It was back in Connecticut over 10 years ago. But I was sitting in that condo, that stuffy, hot, musty, stinky-ass condo. And I was sitting there upwards of 10 to 12 hours a day, playing games, recording, and uploading to YouTube. All right? And I was grinding it out at a time when ad revenue was sky high, and I knew that it wasn't going to last forever, and I was really busting my ass to put out content for YouTube. That was work. All right? When John Rambo came over, that was never work. That was just fun. Let's talk about wrestling and have a good time with it, right? Just dick around and just be silly and interact with people, if we're streaming or whatever. And then let's play some games. Let's play some games and upload the videos. That's all it was. I never viewed it as serious work, ever. He did, apparently. I mean, if you take a look at some of the things that he said in the video that he made about me in 2015, that's shocking to me. Some of the stuff that he said, about it. Because I always felt like that was my time to unwind and just spend time with a friend. To him, he was like, oh, well, Phil would never spend time outside of recording. Well, that's because the time we were recording, we were making money while also being friends and having a good time chilling. Like, I felt like those were hangout sessions. I didn't think those were serious work sessions. My serious work sessions were me busting my ass 6 other days a week, recording 12 hours a day, pumping out videos for YouTube by myself. That was work. Hanging out with him was fun. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he just didn't feel that way. But anyway, so what I mean, like, any of those playthroughs we did, it doesn't even matter if it was like the most popular one we ever did, or if it was near the end. If you remember near the end, we had done a lot of popular co-op playthroughs, and basically no one really cared anymore. Those last, I'd say 6 to 8 months that we were doing co-op, we were playing games like X-Men Legends 1 and 2, stuff like that. No one was watching. The videos were getting no views. We were making like no money on it. I was paying, I'm not even kidding you, I was paying John, I want to say it was like $200 a week per visit. Like, he would come and visit, and I'd pay him like $200, or it was $100. I can't remember what it was. Don't quote me, because I'm probably wrong now. It's been a long time. I don't want anyone saying, oh, Phil's lying. But whatever we agreed to that I was paying him for his visits, okay, was more than what we were making on the videos at that point. Wasn't the case to begin with. To begin with, we were making insane amounts of money, and I was giving him his fair share, 50%. But then after that, he just wanted a flat rate, and I was paying him the flat rate every week to visit and do the content. I was always losing money on that content every week. But I wanted to, I liked the fact that, number one, I was helping my friend. I knew that he needed the income, and, it was money for him. And he, I thought that he was enjoying doing it as much as I did. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm paying my friend to come hang out with me and have a good time. I mean, how is this a lose situation? It's not, right? Like, everyone's benefiting. So, so I don't rank and say, oh, this playthrough was better than that one. This was my favorite over that. No, every week that I got to hang out with John was cool. Seriously. It was just a good time in general. It looks like another tip. Hold on. Lady Charisma tipped me another $1.50. Thank you, Lady Charisma. Oh, what am I doing? There's no animation for that. Just add that to the total. Duh. I got excited. I wanted to play an animation. Okay, and Lady Charisma says, Just to add an idea, you can do reviews after 3 episodes. In an anime world, if you are not into a series after 3 episodes, it's normal to drop a show. Since the average length of an episode is 25 minutes, including intro, so around the same as a movie. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if people would care about my anime reviews. I'm just being honest. You know, what I'm going to do, like this week, I think I'm going to watch a retro movie from my past, okay? I'm probably either going to watch, like, Predator or Clue or Rocky. I'm going to watch an old movie and review it, all right? A movie that I really like, a movie that I want to give my opinion on. It'll be a good variety for the channel, all right? And for the DSP Reacts channel, that is, okay? Something old like that. The Goonies is a good one. If I could find it, I'm pretty sure the Goonies was streaming somewhere, but I got to double check. That's a great movie. But anyway, something from back in the day. I'm going to watch and review, right? I don't know about anime, though. Who the hell comes to me to talk about anime? I'm out of the loop when it comes to anime. I haven't followed anime in so long. I don't really know if my opinions are very valid. I don't really have a frame of reference of other animes to really compare an anime to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I would, maybe I won't. Again, I'll think about it. But absolutely, please keep reminding me about that Crunchyroll subscription. And I consider it because it's free. But I'm not committing to that right now. Jay says, how about Jurassic Park? That's a great one. Jurassic Park 1 is such an amazing movie. Like, really, when I think summer blockbuster, probably Jurassic Park is one of the top 3 movies that pops into my head. I think, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, excuse me, not Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Jurassic Park, and seriously, Independence Day. Because those were movies that were like huge summertime hits, big budgets, big special effects. Everyone was going to see them multiple times in the theaters. They were revolutionary for the time. Now, they're certainly not of all the same caliber. Independence Day is not a great movie. But you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the movies that, like, in your head, they're like, that was an insane summer movie that, like, everyone went to see. I remember going to the movies with my parents to see Jurassic Park. I remember hearing THX audio for the first time, and I'm not kidding you. I got goosebumps. My hair stood up when I was in this theater and you could hear the T-Rex walking around for the first time, because this was the first time that music, that kind of, audio was ever used in anything. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And it was such a good plot, and the acting is good. Everything. The movie's insanely good. To this day, I watch that movie, start to finish, love it, It's awesome movies. But anyway, it's a good suggestion, Jay. Thank you. Yeah, if I could find that one too, I just have to see where they are. I think actually Jurassic Park might be on Max. Yeah. Mr. Toad and Ichabod Crane. What? What is that? Anyway. All right. We got a little bit of extra time, anyone? If you'd like to toss me a question in the chat, please tag me. Wade says, I never heard the story how you and John met. Was it arcades? No. John was a friend of another friend of mine, Tony. Tony was someone who I used to hang out with all the time and play Street Fighter with from the early 2000s all the way to like the late 2000s. And Tony knew John and his other friend, Jamie, because they were playing Super Turbo together. But they were looking to have more competition. So one day Tony took me over to one of their houses, and we were all playing Super Turbo, CVS2. We were playing all these different games together. And that's how we originally met. And then we started actually going to tournaments and playing in tournaments and then practicing and stuff like that. No, I don't go in my backyard naked. My backyard is not necessarily private. I have neighbors on the sides that would be able to see me, so I would not do that. How did I ever meet Howard? Was he mostly a friend of John? No, Howard showed up randomly when I was doing a cookout that was Street Fighter themed in Connecticut. I was doing, in my parents' backyard, I built a giant tent, and I was doing a bunch of food and cookout stuff, and I had a bunch of game setups to play fighting games. And I posted up on Shoryuken.com that we were having a Connecticut cookout. And Howard showed up with a bunch of burgers. And that was, everyone met him, and he was a nice guy. That's how we met him for the first time. And he claimed, he's like, oh, I used to be a regular at the arcade you guys used to go to. And we're all like, we don't remember you. He's like, yeah, well, I was a scrub. You guys always beat me up. I was like, oh, it probably makes sense. If we just beat you every time you were there, that's why we don't remember you. And that's it. That's how we met him. What's my favorite movie of the year so far? I've seen very few movies so far this year, but I would say Dungeons and Dragons. That was a really good movie. Slayer Baldur's Gate plays exactly like Pillars of Eternity or Divinity Original Sin. It does not play like Diablo. It's slow turn-based combat, incredibly arduous, very complicated, and good if you like that, but for me, it's not my cup of tea. So that's why I'm not playing it. My favorite Tom Hanks movie? Man, I'd really have to think. Because I like his old stuff, like The Burbs. I think he's really good in The Burbs. And almost people are like, oh, The Burbs sucks. I love The Burbs. I think that movie's really funny. I think Tom Hanks is outstanding in it. You know, his older works, like Big and stuff like that, are really good movies, you know? But then people are like, oh, we want the drama. We want the Forrest Gumps, or we want, like, one of his more recent films. But I don't know. I think that his older comedic stuff is really good. Mr. Puzzle says mine is Castaway. Good movie. I remember it. Saw it in the theaters. Slayer says I'd be into anime reviews. At least you can give quick informal reviews or thoughts if you don't want to set up a formal review for anime you've watched. Will I be watching Barbie? Doubtful. I don't think that the Barbie movie really fits into my wheelhouse of, interest as a 41-year-old married male who never played with a Barbie doll in his life and doesn't care about any of that. You know what I mean? I don't think I give two shits about Barbie. Just saying. Oh, yes. I've ridden on many llamas, Willow. Thanks for asking. Just dozens of llamas. All the time. What if Kat wanted to see Barbie? Would I go? Yeah, but she does not want to see Barbie. Trust me. She hates that shit, too. Jay says Jurassic Park was his first real dinosaur movie he ever saw, and then he also saw The Land Before Time. You know, Land Before Time I saw much later. I never saw it when it was, like, in the movies. But when I remember Blockbuster Video, my parents would let us go like once a month to Blockbuster Video, and we were allowed to rent like one game. I say we because it was me and my cousin. So we were allowed to rent like one game and one movie. And I do remember renting the Land Before Time movies and watching them at one point. Thought they were interesting when I was younger. No, I did not see that Blade Runner 2049 with Ryan Gosling. Never saw it. Anso Kamaru says it's literally a comedy not about the dolls or toys. I've heard the opposite. I've heard that it actually is about how the dolls or toys were representative of women over the years and how that changed, and it's a funny spin on that, but also it's a cultural commentary and a social commentary on women's roles in society, and that there's a giant plot about the patriarchy. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, let's see here. I received a $1 tip from Darren. Which of your characters you're currently using is most likely to make top 5? Wait. Which of your characters you're using... Wait. I can't speak. Let me try this one more time. My reading comprehension is very bad here. Which of your characters you're currently using is most likely to make it a top 5 along with Blanco, Lily, Geef, and Luke? Hold on. I gotta read this again. This is pretty... Sometimes you guys really... You addle my brain. That spell in Final Fantasy, addle. This happens. I just got brain addled. I gotta read it again. From Darren. Which of your characters you're currently using is most likely to make it a top 5 along with Blanco, Lily, Geef, and Luke? I think what the question is outside of the top 4 characters who I've told you I now like and think I want to continue to play competitively, which would be Blanco, Luke, Zangief, and Lily. Who else would I say is in my top 5 that I want to continue with? Honestly, Dhalsim. But he's the hardest, and I just, I haven't put any time into him. I like Dhalsim in this game. I think that he's unique and interesting. I do feel like he has a lot of downsides, but I feel like if I learn certain strategies and traps and mix-ups that I'll be able to do well. But I think that he's going to take a lot of time investment, you know, unlike a character who's just simple rush down, target combo, you know, drive rush, rush down, guess in the corner. He's not like that. He's got to be calculated, ranged moves, mix-ups, counter throws, keep the enemy away, oh, here comes the fireball, you know, he even has a dash cancel combo that I've seen, or a drive rush combo that's really neat, that I need to, like, I gotta figure all that out. But the thing is, I mean, I'm playing the game as much as I am, and I still haven't had time to play with Dalsim in weeks, right? When was the last time I used him besides a few matches in a community night? So, yeah, I you know, that's gonna take a lot of time investment. You know, Ryu, meh, Ryu's okay. I'm not in love with the character. Marisa, at first, I liked her a lot more. I think I kind of don't really like her as much anymore. Maybe not my style, a little too simple, or I don't know. I think, like, Marisa's best strategy is literally trying to get one random hit, and then it leads to a giant combo, and now she has the advantage in the corner, or mash jab, and that's it. Like, it just seems to be like those are the two things that she could do, and that's it. She doesn't have much to her. You know, at first, it seemed like she was more complex, like her Gladius, that's a charge move that will blow through a drive impact. But now no one spams drive impact at higher levels, so it's a worthless move. Like, you're not going to use it anymore, you know? So I kind of feel like I'm not really too interested in her anymore. Anyway, there you go. Thoughts on a new Disneyland they're building in Louisiana? No thoughts on that. Muan says, do any of the 4 upcoming characters, Rashid, Aki, Ed, or Akuma, really interest you? Aki does. Like I said, I want new characters. All right, I don't care about returning characters. Akuma, I'm serious now. Akuma is the least interesting thing they could add to the game. He's been in every fucking Street Fighter. Oh, well, he's a secret character. No, he's not. He's been in the cast forever. He was a secret character in one game. One. Okay? It says that he's always been part of the normal cast. He's not a secret character. He's not a big deal. Everyone goes crazy for this dude. I don't know why. He's the most boring thing. I don't care about him at all. I would much, much, much rather have new characters. So for me, Aki is the most interesting thing because a new character design, starting from scratch with a new character build, that's cool to me. Give me new stuff, not rehashed old stuff. Okay. I'm doing good, Juan. What characters are more appealing to me, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? Obviously, Street Fighter. That's what I grew up with. I play Mortal Kombat. I enjoy it. I've never been a competitive Mortal Kombat player. I don't think I ever will be. I'll play it at an enjoyable, like casual level. I'll definitely play through the story. I'll try different characters online. There's no crypt mode in MK1. Apparently, there's something new now. No one knows what it is yet. But, you know, I'm interested for whatever it is. But that's how I'll enjoy it. And then likely that, you know, I'll play it for a little bit. But I doubt I'm going to be playing it consistently or long term like I'm doing with Street Fighter 6. Jade says, I will talk in the chat. In Final Fantasy 16, it's such a long and slow game. I hear ya. We can chat it up. Mulan says, I honestly can't believe only 1 out of the 4 first season DLC characters is new. It's kind of ridiculous. But again, I mean, sadly, I hate to say it. They give in to what the fans want, but the fans don't always know what's best. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, oh, we want this character back. We want that character back. You've already had them 17 times in the fucking games. Like, I want Vega back. They're already been in other games. Can we do something new? Or do you want to just play the same game over and over? You know, you get tired of the same shit. I do something different. Carlton Jr. says, MK1 does not look that good gameplay-wise. Looks like more of the same, but I love NetherRealm's single-player features. So now I know I'll get it anyway, but Tekken's up in the air. Oh, yeah, I did see the character trailer for this new character, Claudio, in Tekken. He's new, right? I guess he's supposed to be like some kind of a priest or something. But he's young. He's like he has these powers, like these cleansing powers. And he looks interesting, but it's weird because now there's so many effects in Tekken. It's hard for me to even figure out what's hitting. It's weird because like he's doing a combo, and it's like giant light explosion here, giant radial explosion over here, big fucking anime-ish thing here. I'm like, what hit? Was it a foot? I can't even see. You know? People are saying, no, he's been in it for a while. Oh, I don't even know that. See, I don't even know that. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to Tekken. I don't play it that much, so... He was in 7, so he was a new character in 7. Oh. They haven't announced any new characters for 8 yet. I'm sure they're coming. I'm sure. That's the weird thing about Tekken 8 is that we have no clue when it's coming out, right? We had Street Fighter 6 in early June. We got Mortal Kombat in early September. You think maybe December? Maybe January? I would think they're going to do it January. If they do it January, that's probably a really good time because there's not usually a lot going on in January. So a lot of people would be focusing in on something new like that then. I think that would be a good selection. If a new Blaze Blue came out, would I play it? Probably not. Like I said, I've never really been into the Guilty Gear Blaze Blue games. They're very complicated. You know, Street Fighter 6 is the most complicated Street Fighter there is. I don't think it's as complicated as like Guilty Gear or Blaze. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think those are like the most complicated games. I can't be drawing giant engineering diagrams to figure out the build of a character. It's gonna give me a headache. Carlton Jr. says, Tekken used to have a lot of single-player content in its old games, but that was lackluster in 7. If there's not much in 8, I think they'll lose the sales battle. I mean, you may be right. I remember, what was it, 6 had a whole story mode and everything, and then 7, they took that out. So I wonder what they'll have in this new one. Yes, Jade, I did talk about that Mortal Kombat trailers earlier on the show. I did see them all. So just rewind a bit. You'll see I talked about that. Do I miss the times when shopping malls were popular? Shopping malls are still popular. It's just the stores have changed. You know, the kind of products they sell now and things are different, you know. Because a lot of things now, you know, you don't go to the store to buy it physically. You get those things online, so now things have changed a little bit. But malls are still popular. Go to the local mall here. It's packed with people all the time, man. All right. Guys, I think it's time for us to adjourn. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for the cool Q&A. And thank you to those who have supported the stream already so far. I really appreciate that, but it's time to adjourn for the day. Jump back into Final Fantasy 16. Hopefully the story is interesting. And, of course, tonight we start with GTA 5. I hope you'll join me for that if you can make it. I want to say, again, thanks for chilling. Hope that you're having a good summer here on DSP Gaming. Thanks for the views and the support. And I will see you all in the morning tomorrow. Peace out.